Good morning. This is Steve Colo's job. So we finished this about a year ago, and it's the first time it's going to have a prune. Stephen and his dad have been. This is Helder's son. Some of you might know, but this is the first time it's actually going to have a prune. So there's a full day here for three of you, I think. We'll prune all the snow maidens, please. And be fairly firm on them, about a third off all over. But we want them all to be the same height, please. So I'm sure you can work out how to do that. We'll take all the seed heads off the Senecio, and probably just the same thing. Look at the smallest one, and if we can get them all roughly to the same size, that's the intention. And then, eventually we will let them spread through the garden, but for today, if we can get them all back to the same size, then they can start growing across a bit more uniformly. Obviously, as you go, we need to weed. Whoever the supervisor is today, at the end of the day, I need you to do a mulch measure and a nice thick covering. We do have quite a weed problem, so we're going to fertilise today too, so I'll make a mental note now. A bag of fertiliser. We need 2 of our hardwood stakes to straighten this Bismarckia that blew over during the cyclone. I'd suggest you dig around the back of the root ball to make some room. When you do pull it back straight, it's got somewhere to go. I think if you try and just straighten it up, I think that it probably won't sit back where it should. So dig a little bit out behind it, pull it back, and then we'll stake it and just tie it with our hessian strapping down below the fronds. I think that'll be fine. Obviously we've got a weed. There's a lot of weeds around the Xanadus. I'll make a note how much soil we've got to bring, but it's perfectly fine to put the soil on top of the mulch there. So I want you to weed first. We'll put the soil in, and then we're going to come back in a couple of days after you guys have been here to do the mulching. We'll want to get 100 ml of soil in there, and I'm going to suggest, because of the stairs, these beautiful tiled stairs, we just put this in with buckets, please. Strelitzias, look, you might take a couple, 2 or 3 off each, just to vase them up a little bit. That would be good. And I don't think we need to do anything. Yeah, look, the Alcantarias just need cleaning up, don't they? But the Xanadus are fine. They're exactly the same over here. If we can just tidy up the prunings of the trunks back, if we can cut the old dead remainder of the dead fronds back to the trunk, just to make it look a bit tidier. Obviously, again, in there it needs a good hand weed. There's a little bit of work in this agave garden. We'd like any that have fallen over or leant over, we'd like you to actually dig out and replant nice and straight. There's 3 or 4 of those. And then we've got, it's really just 1, 2, 3 big spaces. There's one there, one in the centre, and one at the back. If we can pull off the biggest 3 suckers and just plant them in the centre of those spaces, that would be great. And there's just a few little dead fronds to clean up on the bottom of those. Heliconias, if you can get your turf knife out, we want to cut all the fronds off, all the stems off, say 200 mil off the path. And look, any stems that Helder's taken just the leaves off, if we can cut those off completely, so we don't have any stems left, just without leaves on them. But we don't want any stems within 200 mil of the path, so it's got room to grow back in again. And if only if time allows today, if you can get in there and pull out any dead leaves, that would be great too. There's a couple of little weeds in the stone there that we just walked past. Some weeds around the Nicolais, but the Nicolais are really pretty good. It's just the old flowers that we'll cut off. And we will take off, I see there's one there, that sucker that's growing straight out towards the house. We'll take that Any suckers growing straight towards the house will take off completely. But the ones growing sideways or to the back, we'll just leave. These heliconias the same as the other ones. These Alpinia muticas, the same thing. If we can just make sure there's no stems that are growing within 200 mil of the path. And then I need you to go around the sides and the back. I want to try and get these back to individual plants, and certainly take enough off the back, again with your turf knives, because I want to cut, don't just want to cut the stems off the ground, I want to cut the rhizomes off below the ground. They just look like they're squashed up against the wall. So if we can get them back to individuals and a bit more vertical, I think they'll look a lot tidier. In here. Viburnums need a good prune. I'm going to leave that up to you guys. It's pretty obvious what needs to happen with them. The single biggest job, with the viburnums, I reckon you can probably get them back to about 1 metre. Obviously you've got to take some off the face and some off the back, but I said I'm leaving it up to you. Don't be afraid to prune those crassulas too. It'd be good to get them, they're just starting to grow over the steps, and if we don't touch them, probably the next time we come they're going to be too big, so they probably just need a light trim all over, please. This nutgrass, so we're going to hand pull all that nutgrass, weed the whole garden, and then we're going to, as I say, remulch in a couple of days, and then we're going to put it on a program where we're just going to paint any nutgrass that comes back through for the next 3 months, and we'll get on top of it. We will. These crassulas just need to be taken back to individuals as well. See how they look good now, but soon it's just going to be one clump, and we don't want that, and they're starting to overtake the Raphio. I don't need to tell you that the Strelitzias need tidying up, vasing up, and the agaves need to be, if you need to dig them out, it's perfectly fine, and stand them up straight, and if you need to use a little bamboo stake, that's fine as well. And I would say those crassulas are going to need the same. They're just losing their individuality, if that's a word. These viburnums should match the viburnums on the other side. We've obviously got the weeding to do. We'll do the Alpinia muticas the same as what we did on the other side. We just need to hand weed this garden and allow a little bit of extra mulch in there. It has sunk and they had to paint the wall at the back, so we want to allow a good 100 mil of mulch when we do that one. There's a bit to do, isn't there? Through here. Let's prune all the cordyline back to 1.2 metres high. We'll let them all reshoot. The Raphios, the same as outside the front fence. We'll take 1/3 off all over, but we want them to be uniform height, please. Strelitzia is just a little basic tidy. And then from this synthetic grass all the way through to the gate up there, we want to do a thorough blow down, including on it from all the stone, and get all the leaf, including off the garden here, and get rid of that and get it down to the proper height before we do the remulch. Last job, these starting at the syzygiums and then the magnolias, and then I'm pretty sure that's the New South Wales Christmas bush, which I can't remember the botanical name of. But all of those, we don't just want to shave them off at level with the fence. We want to try and round them off at each tree so it looks a bit nicer. Very happy for you to take 500 off the syzygiums. Stephen said we can take 1.5 meters off that tallest magnolia. We want these magnolias to be the same height. Same thing, if we can cut them back to the neighbour's side of the fence and then just round them off slightly so they don't just look like we've gone along with a string line and cut everything back to the fence. And then these last Christmas trees it's going to be a bit hard with them, but whatever whole branches you can take off, again, so it doesn't look like it's just been mown off at the fence. can take some whole branches off. We're just trying to reduce the mess in here without it looking too butchered. There's certainly a fair chunk you can take off there, but that's the end of the job. There's a fair bit to do. Thank you.